Adaku Ezeudo.
This is about you and us just getting to know each other a little bit. Hello and welcome. Thank you all so much for joining me in this portion of the podcast. As you can see, I've got a lovely lady next to me, and I'm going to allow her to introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Adaku Ezeudo. I am a diversity and inclusion consultant. I'm also a woman and girls advocate. That's my secret passion.
Yeah.
and I've been in Ireland. I live in Ireland. I'm originally from Nigeria, but I've lived in Ireland for over 18 years. So I call Ireland my home now, even though I go back and forth.
That's good. There's a lot there. That's excellent.
I don't know what else to say.
And I found your Instagram page and profile, and I have a name that's somewhat unusual. My full first name is Marcelin. So if you don't mind, please pronounce your first and last name for us so we can learn it properly.
Okay, my first name is Adaku. My last name is Ezeudo.
Ezeudo.
I'm putting the real pronunciation, the real accent is Ezeudo. You have to go higher.
Love that. See, I wouldn't know that just reading it on the screen.
No, but sometimes, the way you're trying to, make it easy for people to get it, it just, Ezeudo is almost sounding like a Spanish name now, but I'm Nigerian.
Nigerian. And I think that it's just part of getting to know someone. If you are doing something as simple as pronouncing their name correctly, that's a connection.
Absolutely.
It's letting them get to know a piece of you, an important piece. So I appreciate that. I do the same thing too. I tell people, don't worry if you don't pronounce it correctly, but it's nice when you can.
Yeah, and if you can't, you just ask, how do you pronounce your name?
Yes, I encourage that, and I do it to other people as well. So you're from Nigeria, but you call Ireland home.
Yeah.
And you mentioned when we were chatting before that you'll be going back to Nigeria.
Absolutely.
And it's a bit of work and leisure for you. So in the work that you do with diversity and inclusion, as a consultant and then as an advocate, do you travel quite a bit outside of Ireland?
I would say yes to that. That would have happened pretty recently.
Okay.
Because I set up my business about 2 years ago. But before that time, I had a 9-to-5.
Okay.
It's way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 9-to-5. In fact, maybe I should just talk a little bit about my past life.
I would love that.
I used to be an accountant, so I'm a trained accountant.
Wow.
So, but it was an area that I realized that it's just not for me. It's not who, even though I was good at it, but it didn't fulfill me. It wasn't my purpose. I just didn't connect. Like, that's not me.
Right.
I wasn't a behind the computer kind of girl. I was like more on the streets. I want to talk to people.
Yes.
I want to get my hands dirty. I just want to talk and meet people and, listen and learn and connect. That was really what I realized that, it's lit me up. And I think I left all that corporate world and went through charity work first. And now I'm finding myself now doing diversity and inclusion. So it's been a journey, but I'm happy that I'm in my place of purpose.
Oh, place of purpose.
Yes.
I might borrow that.
Oh, sure.
I really like that. When you talk about moving from what I'll call standard work in the corporate environment into something that is more of a passion, is that something that happened quickly for you? You realized in a period of time, this doesn't work for me, but I'm going to move into something else. Was that a quick process or a slow process?
Absolutely not quick, no, because it could be scary, like when you're trying to make a change, because that's a 360 from corporate to community. How do you even make that change so quickly? So no, it took a bit of time. It took a bit of soul searching.
Yes.
I think I actually got to rock bottom, to be honest. That was when I felt going to work was literally killing me.
Wow.
That's when I knew that, okay, I need to do something about this.
Right.
This is not good. I have young kids.
Okay.
They need me to be strong.
Right.
So I couldn't afford, for just one aspect of my life, that's just work to bring me to my knees.
I agree.
So I got to that point where I had to go deep into my heart and what do I really want out of life?
Yeah.
What makes me, excited? What lights me up? And once I was asking those questions and I found the answers, I now began to know, I began to think, okay, I must do something about this.
Yes.
It's a bit scary. I had to talk to people. I talked to everybody.
Right.
What do you think? I'm thinking of changing. I want to do this. I want to follow my passion. And people just said, you're crazy, girl. You're crazy. All these years of experience in the corporate world, you have a banking degree. I have a master's in business administration. Wow. So like you throw all that away.
Right.
I'm like, but I'm not happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that matters.
Yeah, that mattered. I didn't care. I had all this experience and I have these degrees, but I'm not happy. And life is much more than this. You know,
Yes.
I think I deserve to be happy. So I think I just. I really did not get any, I don't remember anybody encouraging me to leave my job.
That's hard.
Yeah, that was hard. Nobody.
Support is a big thing when you're trying to make a change.
Absolutely nobody. But I think then Google was my best friend. Google,
oh, really?
Yes.
Talk about that.
I asked Google everything. Am I going crazy?
Right.
Google, what do you think? I'm trying to change from corporate to community.
Right.
What's the word for the job? What do I call myself?
Oh,
and
right.
all kinds of things kept popping up. Social worker, social carer, community development worker, and I tried to explore all that, options.
Find work that already had a label,
and fit in there.
Yes.
But when I found that it was still the same 9 to 5.
Yes.
Like I was still behind the desk, and I was more like, I want to talk to people.
Right.
Send me to to the field or something, but I just couldn't get that.
Right. And as you're facing that question, what is this job that I'm trying to do? Did you always feel like, I know this exists, I just have to get to it. I have to find the match.
To be honest, I wasn't sure it existed. I just didn't even have a name. I just probably thought like I'm a creator. Like I'm the kind of person like if it doesn't exist, I'll create one. I'll make it happen. That's my attitude. So, but it was surprising that nobody got me. Like, it was like, you're going crazy, girl. Maybe you need some time away from work to relax. And maybe then you could, come back to your senses. That was kind of
make a rational decision.
But it wasn't, easy to, put it to words what I really wanted. But what I knew was I wanted to work with people.
Right.
I didn't want to work in the office 9 to 5.
Right.
I didn't mind being in the office for an hour or two, but that's it. I want to go out to talk, learn, see, do. And so I just didn't have the word. But again, so what I did was then I said, okay, maybe I should go back and do another master's.
Oh wow!
But
because at least that has a path, right? That's some sort of plan. Yeah.
But this time the master's was in development studies.
Okay.
Because that taught you about gender equality, poverty, and I was like, maybe this could be it. So, but I finished that. I did the master, did well. But still, to get a job in Ireland again, it was quite difficult. I must mention that as an immigrant, as a migrant woman, it was quite challenging to get your foot. Even when I got my foot into the door to get into the corporate world, it was so hard.
Wow.
So that was one of the things that held me back. Like I know how much it took me to get into this corporate door. Now I want to go back again and try to get into the community door.
Another scary transition.
That I wasn't sure what the outcome would be. So
that's very real.
That held me back a little bit. But I think that got to me. Something just kept saying, it's like the devil and the deep blue sea. Stay in this corporate world and literally die. Like I'm alive, but I'm dead.
Right.
Or just take the risk and and see what happens.
Right.
The worst case a scenario where we're like, it didn't work.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work, and I'll go back again.
But I tried it. Yeah.
So I think that was what I did. I just took the leap of faith and went back, did a master's in development studies, finished it. Didn't get a job in the community sector like I was hoping.
Right.
And after a year, so I began to volunteer. I just said, okay, I want to volunteer. Maybe somebody will like me and say, I like the way you work.
And then you get to the earning.
That was what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But 2 years later, girl,
wow.
nothing.
2 years is a long time.
It's a long time.
When you're waiting for something that you've already been thinking about for a while.
So it was a long time. And the worst case was like, they would say, oh, you're doing a great job.
Right.
And I'm like, money, pay me.
Exactly. Good enough to be paid.
Pay me money, some come on.
Yeah.
But they were like, oh, I like the way, because that's how I found my passion again, working with women, you know.
Oh, okay.
I'm a migrant woman and I know the hurdles I crossed just to get my foot in the door, to get a job. I have experienced all kinds of racism, microaggression, you name it. But I overcame all that. But again, I realized that I was not alone. There are lots of women like myself who came into Ireland to make Ireland their new home that are going through the same issues as myself. So that was really where I thought, okay, maybe trying to work with migrant women, specifically led charity organizations. And that was really how I found my foot in this organization that I did some work for nearly 2 years, nearly 2 years. And I was so, you know, it was the best experience. I was like, this is it. This is it.
Yes.
But it was not paid.
Right. That is, you can have all the passion about something. You need to eat. You need a place to live. You have children. You have to pay your bills. And passion can take you so far. And then you have to earn.
Absolutely. And that was it. I got to the point where like, Adaku girl, you need to talk to yourself, be honest. This is not working. It's good, you're passionate, you are good at what you do.
Right.
But you're broke, girl. You're broke.
And that's not sustainable.
And that's not sustainable. So I had to, that was where that's where I crashed again. You know, like I believed in this, this is it. But I went, So I came to that place like, what else can I do? You know, I love this job. I want to earn some income. Who can help me? You know, there's so much going on. I just didn't know what else to do. So I engaged a mentor. I just randomly, there's a lady that I've had volunteered for her organization over the years, and she was quite nice in the sense that she really cared about me.
Right.
And I knew that because she was always asking me things like, oh, Ada, you give so much to the community. Who gives to you?
Wow.
And I remember when she asked me that question, I cried.
I bet. Yeah.
I was because I've never thought about myself.
Right.
I'm always like, I want to go help, I want to go give, it was all about others. And that was fine, but I realized that really I'm on my own. Nobody is really giving me nothing.
Yes.
So that was a big one for me, and I said, I need to start looking inward, look at me as well.
That's true mentorship.
Yes. So that was when I thought, okay, this is really what I desire to do. This is the kind of work I want to do, but I don't know how to get paid for this.
Yeah.
You know, I've so much work with the county councils, with the local employment offices. I've done so much charity work. Right. That I was so confident that I was going to, someone would say, I see that talent, I see the passion, I see this in you, and I want to hire you. Nothing. I'm like, are they blind or what?
Right, exactly. What do I have to do?
What else can I do?
You're educated, you're experienced, you're willing, you're there, and you had this perspective of being someone who could relate to a whole segment of the community.
Absolutely.
Those are very valuable things. So you had a mentor that reminded you needed to balance that giving with kind of refilling your own tank. You saw now that it wasn't about whether or not the need existed. And then you move into creating. You said that you like to create.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about that in just a minute. So you're a creator. When I think about creator, we're at Woollinn. We are amongst makers. These are folks who have, in some way or another, they've connected to their creative side. They've connected to, I want something, I'm going to make it, and they've connected to the community aspect of that. A fiber festival does that. It brings together people of that mindset. There are people here who've had challenges. There are people here, like me, I'm an immigrant, who can relate to living somewhere other than where you were born and everything that comes with that. I think some of us even channel that into what we make. It could show up in our designs. It could show up in what we teach others. So I'm really interested to hear, with all of the experience you brought and your own personal lived experiences, how did you shape what is now this consultancy and this passion project?
Yeah, absolutely. After I got to that, what I would call my second rock bottom.
Yes.
I had to engage a mentor. Like, I have all these things, but I don't know what to do with it. Help me. Am I missing something? And she was the one that helped me to see what I had.
Okay.
I never knew I had anything. I just thought, I just do it because I like doing it. But I never even even valued myself. She
That's
said,
huge.
that was something that she said, okay, it made me think, wow, I never saw it that way.
Right.
She said that she told me, and the good part of it was that she's an Irish woman, a white Irish woman.
Okay.
So that had more impact than maybe somebody else of my own, community telling me that. But she said, Ada, you have so much experience, expertise. I remember how you using the word expertise on me. I was like, really?
Oh, that felt
I
uncomfortable?
felt so uncomfortable with that.
Oh,
I thought it was for some certain kind of people.
Right.
That had maybe a PhD, 15 years experience in this or that. But I also thought, I'm just doing my little job here. So, but she told me, no, Ada, you have done this, you have prepared that, you've organized that. I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. Right. So she helped me to articulate the things, what I had.
And that they were valuable.
And they were valuable. And she now told me, you can sell these things. Oh, I'm like, really?
Yes.
How do you sell? So I had no clue.
Right.
And she said, you can. That you can consult for, for the same charity they're trying to go and work for, you can consult for them on accessing migrants communities, because then you have experience, you know what challenges that they are facing. So over time, and I got to that point where I just, I went back again learning. You never stop learning. Never. So I had to do a course on how to start your own business. Right. So I had to learn how to pitch your business. Right. You had to learn how to even articulate what you do. Yes. Because I think I was just saying, I just like to help people. Right. What does that mean?
The next step is, what is that worth?
What is that worth?
How do you charge for that?
How do you charge for that? But that was what I learned during my How to Start Your Business training. Yes. They teach you everything. How to articulate your worth, how to know how much you could charge, and how you could expand and scale and grow. Yeah. So that was brilliant. So that's where I started the journey 2 years ago, actually. Yes. About 2 years ago in August. I was in a room with other new entrepreneurs and small business owners. Yeah. Okay. Trying to get their trying to make a stand or trying to get their business out there. Yes. So I think after that, by the time I started to write down those things down, your vision, what you want to do, how you could, and again, you had mentors there that were also helping you. If you were stuck, they could help you with the words. Wow. So that was really the journey. I began as an intercultural consultant. That was what
intercultural consultant. Yeah. So intercultural sounds big, but important. Yeah. And starting there, what would be your target audience for that offer? Yeah, my target audience were government agencies that have the remit to promote social inclusion and diversity. So they actually got funding from the EU. EU goes, this is the funding we have, this is the money we're going to give you. We want you to make sure that Ireland is more, you help, they used to call it that integration. Okay. You help the new communities to integrate. That means to be to feel like part of the system. Right. And some of my experience in doing my volunteering work, yes, I realized that I was the idea person. They had this money, but what do we do with this money? Exactly. And I go, I know. Yes, excellent. So there's that value again. Yeah, exactly. So that was what helped me, where I just came, I have an idea. Yes. So we can invest in this project and we can do this and I can run it and I get paid. So that was really how I started, but I was targeting integrating the migrant community. So it could be the asylum seekers, refugees, but it was a win-win for both, because now the government agencies were ticking their boxes. They were like, yes, come and see what we've done. We have organized this. We've used your money very well. And, we did. We put a program in place. Absolutely. That's good. Then for the migrants, at least they had learned something. Yes. They have connected. And again, I worked so passionately that they would, I remember one of my trainings, when I was ending one of the training sessions, my final session, I think there were about 15 women. I think about 10 of them were just crying. Wow. And I said, I've never experienced this. He said, I'm crying because you're a good person. We miss you. You're genuinely, you care for us. And that was what people were looking for, care. Yeah. Do you really care for us? Wow. So that was it is emotional on so many levels. It is. I really connected with those women. Yeah. So, and again, it just goes to say, this is really what I love to do. I just want to be, this is my space. That's purpose. That's what I told you. Did you find that because there was funding and a remit for that the obstacles were a little less, maybe you faced a little less challenge in just saying this is important? Was that part at least there to begin with?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think it's because, unfortunately, many times people do things, or let me just, some companies or agencies or organizations
Yes.
do things not because they really want to.
Right.
They do it because they have to.
They need to and they have to, yes.
So that's really what it was, really. They did it because if we don't, do this, we don't get any more funding.
Right.
We may be out of work in the next 10 years.
Right.
So that was really what it is for me.
Yeah.
What is still lacking from my experience then is that care.
Yeah.
Maybe again it's not really their fault because sometimes people are under pressure to deliver.
Yes.
And they need to they don't have time to be caring, oh, how are you, Mary or Jane? No. They don't gone. So maybe, I was that missing piece or that puzzle that fitted in where I could provide that care, listening, empathy, and I could relate. Yeah, well, they did the task.
The logistics is only part of it,
It's
right?
only part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So
the care that you can bring is probably very different from the people who have been in those organizations for a long time.
Yes.
They don't have the same lived
Experiences, yes.
even as some of the people that they're serving. So that connection would be missing.
Yes.
In the space of doing that for a company, how did you then move into, I'm really going to take this on my own and make it into something that I offer as my own organization of one? How did you make that move?
Yeah, after I had finished the How to Start Your Business course, I still had worked with a mentor who was kind of guiding me through, this is the first step, this is the next step. And, I had to learn how to get business and how do you get
clients?
Yeah, how do you get clients to trust you, to know you, and, and again, it was the first time.
Right.
So I think I just leveraged on the volunteering experience I had in the past. The same people that I worked with, I went to them and said, oh, this is what I do now.
Yes.
Do you want to support me? Or no, could you support me by, give me an opportunity to train your staff? And because then I had worked with just the migrants. That was my experience. But now I was moving towards working with, with frontline staff,
right?
With the likes of not CEOs but managers and supervisors who had the task to work with these communities.
Right.
So my new role was I was asking myself, how am I going to package this training or workshops to work with this different kind of clients?
A different audience.
It's a different audience because I was so used to and comfortable in my own migrant women zone. Like, hey sister, I get you.
Exactly.
But I couldn't. It's not the same for working with the Irish supervisors
and
the language.
It
was different. So, but I had to just take the chance.
Right.
I had to, I kept talking to people about it, even though I was so afraid. I have to be honest. But I've learned to do it afraid.
I love that. Do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
Wow.
So I just go there with my card, and they said, okay, we'll give you a chance. But unfortunately, not too many of them, came to fruition.
Okay.
But the one that did, I just, oh my God, I remember the day.
Yeah.
I went with it. I practiced, read to myself, did so much. I went, oh my God, I was like, if this is how you put you practice or you put things
rehearse
together
and get it ready
just for one client. Come on, how are you gonna make how are you gonna
how will you do this 10 times over?
So I think I was maybe excited and nervous and trying to be perfect, trying to make sure I impress.
Yes.
So
because this is the one, right? We've been waiting for this opportunity.
Finally.
Yeah.
And again, I think I was someone that I value my space. I really I really didn't like that somebody else controlling my time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's why I was really keen on having my own business.
I like that. Knowing yourself well is important, no matter what.
I knew that. But again, but those self-doubt, something tells me, oh, you're migrant, so you don't even know, the culture is different here. Will you be accepted?
Yeah.
Can you speak in the language or the accent that they understand? All the judgments on yourself just come flooding in.
Even before anyone else has made comments or said something to that effect, right? You do it to yourself.
Yes. I did that a lot. Yeah. But I think I just had to, just that.
Well, you said you did it scared anyway.
I did it scared. I just did it. And I was over-prepared.
Yeah.
And and that just took that leap of faith again.
Yeah.
And I delivered my first training. That was just last year, and it was huge for me. And I got positive feedback.
Great.
I got areas to improve as well.
Great.
You know,
That's important.
And that's,
both things count.
Yeah, and that helped me. So the more people told me, oh, you should have spent more time doing this.
Yeah.
You know, to do more of this.
Right.
And that's how I kept
And
changing.
you're developing.
I kept changing and improving and evolving and, you know, asking people what else, how else, you know, and attending other people's workshops to see, observe.
Right.
How do they talk about it? How do they do this?
Yes.
What's their body language like? How do they smile?
Yeah. No, those things are the, what do they call it? The softer skills. They count as much, I think, as anything, because any sale, I hesitate to call it a sale, but any offer that you're making, the person is buying into you as much as your message, right?
Absolutely.
So it's sort of like your demeanor, and if they can connect to you as a person, it matters right up there with the product or the service that you're offering.
Absolutely.
That's been my experience. And I love that most of this started from a passion place.
Absolutely.
I think we can relate to that, and I know that a lot of my viewers especially, they walk that line between hobby and craft and business and thriving business.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that easy to put out something that you're so emotionally tied to and then ask someone to accept it and then ask them to pay its worth.
Absolutely.
So I love that you started with the passionate part of it and then you put structure around it.
Yes.
So now your primary role is?
Yeah, it's diversity and inclusion. So I provide consulting, coaching, and training for companies and organizations, supporting them with, you know, cultural diversity needs.
Excellent. And when we talk about diversity and inclusion now in the making community, what I've seen through online conversations is that inclusion, if it's true, is the circle has to be big.
Absolutely.
It's gender identity, it's physical ability, it's culture, it's background, heritage. There's so many things.
Absolutely.
And within any company, I think you could touch on multiples of those identities.
Absolutely.
So when you're coaching, have you found that there is kind of an easy way in to start the conversation, knowing that that company may have different needs?
Yeah, you know, from ever since I started doing a lot of this work with a lot of organizations, I realized that every organization is different.
Yes.
My goodness,
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. I was thinking, I just have this, you know, this program or workshop and everybody does the same. Not at all.
Right.
They're all different.
Yeah.
So it's something that I am very aware of, and I take that with me anytime I'm going in. So when I go in to coach or even to train, I always have a one-on-one with either the leader of or the head of the department or the person that the contact I have there.
Okay.
So we just kind of discuss your needs. I always ask you why. So why do you want to do this?
That's good.
Because it's a different thing to, you know, are you doing it because you have to or you really want to? So it's a different thing.
Yeah.
You know, because I want to do work with people that really want change.
Sure.
And when you have to, it comes from a different part of your body. And you want it's like it's from your heart. Like how I want to do better.
Right.
It's not about perfection. There's nobody that's gonna. There's never a time any organization can say yes, we are inclusive, we are diverse, we are the best, and we've achieved it.
We're done.
Hence, we're done. No.
No.
It's a journey.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, my job is to support you in that journey. So that's the way I work with people. There's no, you are naughty, you shouldn't have done that.
Right.
It's
right.
about
Come in and correct and correct and correct.
No, it's about empathy. We are humans. We're gonna make mistakes. No matter how much we train, somebody's gonna still fall off the wagon. But again, it's about saying, oops, I made a mistake, I shouldn't have done that.
Right.
And you get back up and continue. But not pointing fingers, you are such a horrible person for saying that. No. Just,
I think you get, let me ask, has it been your experience that if you take that approach, the person is maybe likely to be more defensive, and then the message wouldn't get through because they just feel they're being chided or they feel they're being reprimanded in some way, and so they might be more defensive.
Yes, that's true.
Is that your experience?
I have had people that get defensive once you say things to them. But again, I think sometimes it's not about the person. Like communication is so crucial. How did you say it to the person? Of course, if I tell somebody, oh, how I raise my voice and my tone, I'm like that was, and call the person you're a racist, for example, outright. Right. The person is gonna maybe shut down and will not learn. But it's about approach. Right. You could have a conversation that doesn't have to lead to name calling or pointing fingers. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that it's always going to work. Right. But it's about that's really be my first approach to trying to have such conversations.
I get that. I think what you're looking for, from what I'm hearing, is something that can be sustainable. You want to leave them with a message that keeps going and they can continue.
Absolutely.
So if they shut down, they wouldn't do that. But if they stay open from the beginning, they can keep on that journey.
Yes. And again, before I even have or meet with my coaching clients, we have some terms of the contract that I will because I'll tell you that I will use some words, but don't find it offensive. It's just having we're just having the uncomfortable discussions. Yes. So please, if you can, we agree to have these uncomfortable discussions or conversations, but not in a bad way. Right. I could use things like white privilege. White privilege is the first phrase I thought of when you said that. And people could just say, "Oh, there they go again, judging me." No, so it just, and I could still, find something to, that looks at me as a migrant in Ireland and say I use that as well. But it's all about encouraging those uncomfortable conversations
from the beginning.
From the beginning, so they know. So it's not about you, but it's about this is the reality.
That's so important. I think the way you begin is important.
Yes. So it's open. They know. They are aware. They're not, thinking that here they come again, or here she comes again.
You're going to tell me how awful I am. I think the interesting thing for me is when I talk to the organizers for Woollinn, they are so excited about you being here.
Oh God, Lisa.
I mean, it's like a giddiness. They have this opportunity, and in my estimation, they're offering like a gift to the people who've decided to come here by saying, hey, we're going to have this discussion. We're going to talk about some things that maybe you're not thinking about in a certain way, or maybe you're uncomfortable with, or maybe you haven't gotten to the point yet where you're exploring it. And they feel that they're offering what you have to bring to a group of people who already feel connected in many ways. Yeah. And maybe this is another conversation level where they can connect.
Absolutely. And I really hope I will do, I will have that impact in the conversation. Yes. Because my expertise, because just like you said, diversity is quite broad. It's the big. Yes. So, but my focus or my message is mainly around race. Ethnicity and culture, right? Because that's really where my strength is, my expertise, my experience is. Yes. So I hope, and and unfortunately, it's not really an area that is really talked about, in Ireland.
That's true.
Because gender diversity is kind of more of the key issue here. More conversations around that are going on. So. But slowly, more resources are put into gender diversity.
What you mean.
It's about how can we increase more women in leadership positions. Right. That's good as well. But what kind of women? How do we? Yes. Nobody's asking how
what about diversity within a gender?
Nobody's asking how do we include diverse kind of women in leadership positions. So it's not all about women, but nobody's asking what kind of women.
Which women?
The same women that have more. I don't know.
Where that happens, and you're looking to fill positions. There are intersections.
There are absolutely.
And I think that if a company is willing to talk about things like gender identity and diversity in that way, whether they like it or not, other forms of diversity are going to be part of that conversation.
Absolutely.
So you help them to address a specific part of that, which is probably going to cross many people in their organization.
Absolutely.
I'm curious about the fact that you have an experience that's based here in Ireland, and you have conversations with people outside of Ireland. Do you see some regional or even national kind of distinction in what a particular country might be focused on when they're trying to do diversity? Do you see that in other places too?
Yeah, I've done some, I've watched some programs or watched some videos or done some I've done some bit of reading and research around the Americas experience of diversity, and it's different conversation.
It is, isn't it?
There's this high, intense conversations about blackness and races.
Yes.
It's and again,
it
is what I think it's deservedly so because of the experiences. People have lost their lives. The history
of well, I'll say North America, but the history of the U.S., for example, has a lot of those components about race and the place of people based on race. Definitely.
Yeah, so that's a different kind. So I understand why there's the conversation around race is quite high and obvious, but in Ireland it's not the same. It's more of gender.
Yeah,
gender is more because of the history as well. Women has been oppressed and suppressed. In Ireland, and they've always taken the back seat.
Right.
I remember I read some research then. I did some work, and I found out that women in I don't know which year now, but in Ireland, in Irish history, if you got married as a woman, you had to leave your work and you have to resign.
If you were working, you had to resign from working because you're getting married.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
So that was like
interesting.
Wow, that was like really.
Whatever year it was, I bet we'd be surprised how recent. I'm always surprised when I read statistics and I think
find that out.
That wasn't that long ago.
No, some of them were in the 60s. Like,
so
not too long ago. I'm like, what?
Right.
So they do. So I really empathize with them. Why they are focusing on why more women should be more visible and supported and so it's history really. So I think, but I believe that Ireland is it's a journey for us here. I say ours because I'm part of the system as well. Sure. So I think we are getting there. Yeah. There will be time where race as well will become has importance as.
And I love that you're part of that.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping to.
I love that you're part of that. I think you have so much to offer for that.
Oh, thank you.
So today you're giving a talk here at Woollinn, and it's part of a luncheon activity that we're having on the last day of the Fiber Festival. And I think a lot of us don't want to go home. So I'm pretty happy that what we're leaving with will be something I think will be very, very fulfilling for us. I want you to do whatever you plan to do for your talk, but maybe share with my viewers what you're hoping to portray to the group that's here at Woollinn, the folks who've come to the Fiber Festival. What are you hoping to get across to them?
First of all, I think it's important to share my story.
Yes.
Because stories are important.
Yes.
So that that this is coming from somewhere. I just wake up and want to do that.
Hey, this would be a fun thing.
Because it's really hard work though.
Yeah.
So I think I really want to share my story, share my journey.
Yeah.
So how I set up PhoenixRize Consulting. Because even the name of my company, it has a deep meaning.
PhoenixRize.
Yeah, so it's the phoenix rising from its ashes.
Right.
And that's really my story. So I rose from that ashes of discrimination, of racism, of microaggression. Yeah. So much things I had to overcome. I had to be resilient. I had to keep going. I had to, just keep. Do it afraid.
Do it afraid.
Do it afraid. Yeah. So many things I had to overcome to get to this place. So I'm hoping that they take away that that it's nothing really happens overnight. Sometimes things take time.
Yeah,
and that's the reality. Yeah. And even if they're coming here, yes, we want to talk about diversity and inclusion. But don't put judgment on yourself. Don't feel bad about anything. But it's about you are here to learn. Learn from my story, learn from my ideas, and again, we can be open to learn from others. Yeah, absolutely. My story is just one part of it. You could go somewhere else, and somebody else has another story that you could pick a tool from. Right. Pick it up, and if it adds value to your business, why not?
That's good. So you have that much more.
Yeah. So it's all about learning and sharing and find better ways of how we can work together and be more inclusive. And again, the mindset, how we can think in inclusion, how we all can make impact in our own little way.
Yeah.
So that's really what I want. It's not it doesn't have to be a big thing you're gonna do.
Right.
But it could be, what one thing can you do going out from this room that you could add value,
Yep.
or add value to the the inclusive and diversity,
The larger
field.
conversation.
Absolutely.
That's See that, when you're saying that, even to me, we're sitting here talking, that sounds like a manageable approach.
Yeah,
I feel like that's something
absolutely.
I could take that in, learn, and then think about one thing.
One thing, yes, that's it.
And the way the world works, if you do that one thing, or you engage and then you share, usually it blossoms.
Absolutely.
And it ripples out. So I like that. That's manageable. So
Yeah.
and PhoenixRize is so symbolic, because when I hear that, I hear a hopeful approach, one that assumes that there is better.
Yes.
From struggle there is better. And you have another organization as well. You said you focus with young
Charity,
girls and
charity.
advocacy.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. So that was I set up when I was trying to get this paid job, and I couldn't get anything. So I created my own charity organization called I Smile.
I Smile.
I Smile, yes. I Smile means indelible smile. How can I put an indelible smile on your face?
I Smile.
Yeah.
I love that. Indelible smile. Okay,
How can I put
that.
an indelible smile on your face?
Wow.
And that came again from the experience of seeing migrant women like myself. We are miserable, frustrated, we are in Ireland, and the cultures are different.
Right.
I'm from Nigeria,
Right.
and I remember I was 10 years old, and my mom I would mind my brothers.
Right.
I was 13, and I was cooking, I was going to the kitchen, doing all that.
That's growing up fast.
So it was kind of normal for me.
Right.
And coming to Ireland is different, because your kids could be taken into foster care.
Wow.
If you find out that they are the
their
ones
13-year-old sister is taking care of them.
Take care of the 10-year-old.
Right.
So it's not so that difference in culture and the system was quite was a bit it was a bit stressful and unnerving for a lot of migrants, because we came here as adults. You know that if you had come as kids, maybe we would have learned.
Yeah.
We are adults, and this is where we do things. So we needed time to unlearn, you know. But unfortunately, the system was more like, if you do this, then this is the consequences.
There was no allowance for that.
There was no allowance for them at that time. And women, a lot of women were taking their kids were taken to foster care. So that was the beginning of disaster for a lot of people, because culturally, women are we are the nurturers. We are the one that manages the home. And if your child is bad, it's your fault as a woman.
You take that on.
Yeah. So many women were just so depressed, very unhappy, because of things like that. They didn't
Definitely not smiling.
Not smiling, no. So
I
I was thinking, what little thing? That's what one thing could I do to help them smile again?
I like that so much.
So that's
I feel that again, that started from a heart place.
Yes, it did.
Wow,
it did.
I love that.
It did.
And so that's something that we can connect with you on as well online. You have a position online. Is something that we can go and read about and learn about?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Is it the I Smile or PhoenixRize?
Either one.
Oh yes, they're both.
Both have a website that I'll make sure you guys know. You'll get the information so you can reach out to Adaku. And I have friends in this particular community who organize events and who they are also trying to build within the community things that are valuable, and friends who teach. And I'm seeing that more and more of those folks want to have these conversations. They want to talk about diversity and inclusion, and they want to understand better what are the important elements. So for someone like you to come in and talk to the people that you're going to today, I already think that's going to ripple out. There are people in the audience that are open to the conversation and want to take it to wherever their home is or whatever their event is. So we appreciate you, and I say thank you ahead of time for that. I think what I'll do is when I share this video, I'll make sure that I let you know that it's out there. And I would just like to personally thank you for spending time with me.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to following your journey.
Yay, thanks.
From what I see, you're doing an exceptional job already.
Thank you so much.
So thanks for being here. We're huggers. So thank you, Adaku.
Thank you too.
And it's Adaku Ezeudo. Did I get it right?
Okay, I think
one more time.
I got it wrong myself.
Do it.
Adaku Ezeudo.
Yes. I'm going to practice. I love
It's
it
okay.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you too. Thank you.
Wonderful. So if you're going to look at the camera, which you don't have to, you can look at me if you're more comfortable.
Yeah.
But the best place to look is right in here. That lets the audience kind of have the eye contact, please. All right. So, yeah. Do you feel comfy in that chair?
Yeah.
Okay.